At that thought, I quickly placate everyone's concern before bidding my goodbyes and heading off alone down the street. It wasn't until I got far enough away from the library that the eerie feeling started to dissipate. Hmm. The nostalgic smell of comic books and plastic greets me as I enter the all too familiar manga store, and I immediately beeline my way towards the anime aisle. I was set on collecting the last remaining accessories for my mini Attack on Giants display, and I wasn't about to let my paranoia get in the way of that. Oh no, we have our priorities straight. But as I was passing through a few of the aisles, I noticed a familiar shade of pink near the cashier. Is that Ren? Ren! Oh, Haruko. Oh my god. Cute. The heck is that? Is that a tattoo or something? What is that on his neck? I mean, I know there's a tattoo there, but like, what is that little heart? It says angel, I think. Interesting. I didn't even notice his motorbike out front, if he even brought it. Up until now, I always assumed he walked everywhere. And even though he was wearing a mask and had his hair tied back, I could easily make out his large and lanky frame anywhere. Sneaking closer, I notice how he appears to be in a hushed conversation with the manager about something confidential, if their closeness was anything to go by, before he places a thick manila envelope into her hands and leans back. But before I have the chance to make myself known, Ren is already turning on his heel and slipping behind the large racks filled with cosplays and gaming-themed apparel. Hey, come back. His height does him no favors, though, as I watch his head peek out from the top as he bobs and weaves his way towards the side entrance. At that very moment, my phone decides to jump scare me by suddenly going off, and it startles me enough to temporarily forget about Ren. Mood. Letting out a string of curses, I reach into my back pocket and pull it out, only to see Moth's name flash on the screen. With a grin, I accept the video call and hold the phone up to my face. Hey, listen, now isn't really a good time to talk, but... Oh no, that's terrible. Get well soon, or sorry for your loss, or whatever. Anyway, listen. Guess who won an all-paid holiday trip overseas? Me, that's who. It'd been a while since I'd last seen Malt's face, but they appeared just as boisterous as I remembered them. For free, too. I mean, okay, yeah, I still need to pay for food and stuff, but... Hey, where are you? I'm in a manga store. Hold on, can we backtrack for a second? You got free tickets to where? Is that a Haruko figurine? Can you get it for me, please? Please, 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 please. Moth. I'll pay you back, promise. I'll pay for shipping too. It's so cute. Look at his little outfit. Look at his tiny little jacket and tiny little shoes. With an eye roll, I reach behind me for the figurine, but not before picking up the accessories I originally came in here for, and slowly make my way towards the cash register. Once Moth's hoots and hollers calm down, I gently try to coax them back onto the original topic. Oh, right. You asked where I'm going. Well, it's actually a surprise. Seriously. A good surprise, though. Hey, you're still in Corbin. For a brief moment, their screen starts to lag and a loading symbol pops up. Moth? Because I'll be in almost that okay. Their voice cuts in and out, leaving an almost robotic effect before the screen eventually fades to black. With a heavy sigh, I end the call and shoot off a text to let them know that they got disconnected yet again. But as I absentmindedly look out the window, I notice the blurry outline of Ren's figure sitting on a bench outside, busying himself with what looked like his phone. Yeah, not suspicious at all. He's just on his phone, nothing to worry about. Next! The cashier's voice pulls me away from my thoughts, and I quickly pay for my purchases, all while sparing not so secretive glances I run from beyond the shop window to make sure that he's still there. It was strange, but I couldn't help but hope I'd get a chance to catch up with him on my way out. I know it'd barely been more than a day since I last saw him, but I still wanted to thank him for the date he took me on yesterday. The cashier pulls my attention away by handing me a bag and receipt, and I give him my thanks before making a beeline towards the exit. Aha! But just as the door swings open, I notice that Ren had already left. Dang it! He was no longer on the bench where I last saw him, and I couldn't spot him on either end of the street either. It was like he was never there in the first place, and I almost find myself wondering if I had imagined the whole thing. I was starting to see him everywhere anyway, and it was beginning to come across as creepy. That's definitely one word for it. But Portland Bay isn't that big of a coastal town in retrospect, so I'm sure we were bound to run into each other again sooner or later. I mean, I literally met Ren at my own workplace because we share a few common interests in interest in books. His just so happened to be about native flora. That kind of stuff wasn't something either of us could control, and I was most likely looking too deep into it still. It felt strange, all the same. We're catching on. We are evolving. Oh well, there was no use dwelling over it. I still had Ren's number saved in my contacts anyway, so I could always shoot him a text or even a call if I really started to miss him. But why would I? Why would I do that? It was beginning to get dark once I arrived back at my apartment complex, so I quickly ushered my way up the staircase and onto my floor. But as I'm making the long trek up the stairs, I bump into someone lingering around the corner and almost end up tumbling down. Whoa! Hey, watch it! Glancing up, I notice it's the cashier from yesterday who was glaring daggers at me while I tried to steady myself at the railing. That was Olivia, wasn't it? She makes no effort to help me, though she does move to the side in order to give me space at the top of the stairs. It's then when I take notice of the ginormous basket of laundry in her arms, and it makes me wonder if she was actually going to carry it all the way to the laundromat by herself. Clearly, she was stronger than she looked. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Olivia cuts herself off once the severity of the situation finally sinks in before she sucks in her cheek and lets out an exasperated chuckle. Seriously, what could she possibly find so funny about this situation? Of all places, a staircase? Really? Your boyfriend sure has a fucked up sense of humor. Oh, I'm sorry, what? What? No, it's nothing. Look, I didn't mean to knock you down the stairs like that. I've got a lot on my mind lately, and I wasn't looking where I was going. Yeah, it happens. Or, hey, it happens. Not, yeah. It most certainly didn't. But Olivia seemed to be having a rough day, so I wasn't going to make things worse by being rude to her. She already looked on edge for some reason, especially with how she kept sneaking glances over both of our shoulders. It was almost like she was looking for something, and I would have asked her about it if she didn't beat me to it. So, where's that boyfriend of yours, anyway? Not lurking around the corner like a creepy psychopath, is he? Seriously? Your boyfriend, the guy you visited the souvenir shop with the other day? Oh, Ren? He's not my boyfriend. We're just... Actually, he is my boyfriend. He's just a friend. I've never seen that man in my life. Oh my god. Okay. I've never seen that man. Are you? I don't have time for this. Forget it. I'm in a rush, so please move. Clearly done with the conversation, Olivia sidesteps me and starts to make her way down the stairwell, but she only manages to get a few feet away before she turns around once more. Resting her laundry basket on a Yep, she looks up at me with an unreadable look. You live on this floor as well? Then it looks like we're going to be seeing each other more often. But just some neighborly advice. If you plan on bringing Ren around, keep it down. I'm not afraid to file a noise complaint. What? And with that, she disappears around the corner. What was that all about? Deciding it wasn't worth my time to mull it all over, I slowly make my way towards my apartment. I can't believe we can straight up just be like, I've never seen that man in my life. Just the amount of disrespect we can dish out. Not bothering to turn on the light, I toss my keys into the tray, shrug off my jacket, and unceremoniously drop myself onto the couch. Today had been a whirlwind of events and emotions, and the worst part was that it still hadn't ended yet. I still had an hour or so left before I consider any dinner plans, so I figured I might as well spend the evening winding down in the meantime. All too quickly, an idea pops into my head, and I reach over to grab my phone, invite someone over. I thought we wanted to be alone, but sure, why not? Figuring out it'd be best to catch up with someone instead of stewing in my apartment alone, I pull up my contacts list and idly scroll through it. Conan's phone number immediately captures my attention, being the newest addition to my contacts and sitting near the top of the list. Before my curiosity begins to stray once more, without so much as hesitating, I tap on that person's number and bring the phone closer to my ear. Who did you call? Ren. Moth, Violet, Eleanor, Conan. Someone else? Oh, Jay, Leon, Tio. Oh, that's interesting that that's even an option, but I don't know. I don't want to call Ren. I mean, we could. You could be like, hey, what's up? I thought I saw you earlier. Uh, or we could just be like I don't want to call our boss. That's kind of weird, kind of random. What about Moth? Moth was trying to tell us something. Quickly glancing at the time to make sure it wasn't too early for them, I tap on Moth's name and bring the phone closer to my ear. The phone rings a few times before they pick up with a happy lilt in their tone. Well, 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 look who came crawling back. Sorry about earlier. I'm not sure what the deal is with my Wi-Fi. Hold up. Rewind. Why am I crawling? Why wouldn't you be? I'm the only person you know who has all the latest AOG gossip. Anyways, what's up, Belle? Felt bored. Wanted to hear your lovely voice again. Please, I can hear the sarcasm dripping through the phone right now. Seriously, what's up? How did they know me so well? Actually, I'm going on this double date tomorrow. Except it's not really a date, for me at least. And how is it not a date? You'll be hanging out with someone you're interested in, right? No, it's my best friend. Me? I didn't know we were going on a date together. I'm flattered, dude. Oh, my other best friend. I am literally the same way. I'm like, my other best friend. Yes, I have many best friends. Well, not many, not many. Snowfield, you're special to me, okay? You just know that, all right? But yeah. I'm going to pretend like you didn't just pause for 6 whole seconds to come up with that lame excuse. I was spacing out what happened. I heard my name. I was talking about how, let's see, character was like, talking about going on a double date, and me saying, no, it's not exactly a double date, or not exactly a date, because, or at least for me, and Moth is like, how is it not a date? You'll be hanging out with someone you're interested in, right? Now it's my best friend. Me. I didn't know we were going on a date together. I'm flattered, dude. Uh, my other best friend, and I was just commenting on how I'm like that too. I'm like, that's my best friend, but that's also my best friend. They're also my best friend. And then I said, I have many best friends, and then I had to backtrack, and I was like, no, wait, no, I don't have many best friends. I just you're special. You're special to me, Snow. Okay, just believe it. Trust me. I'm going to pretend like you didn't just pause for 6 whole seconds to come up with that lame excuse. Okay. Despite the harsh words, I could tell Moth was joking. Their eye roll was practically audible. But no, really, I mean it, you know. So what's so bad about this? Not a date that your other best with your other best friend? Well, for starters, he's someone I've practically known since birth. And the other two people happen to be my coworker and the most purest soul, or my coworker with the most purest soul I've ever seen, and my other friend who's probably the devil incarnate. I think I've seen an anime about that once. Moth, not helping. Sorry. Look, you said it yourself. You're not going on an actual date, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about, right? You don't understand. It's not Leon I'm worried about. Was I really about to let Moth in about the more personal details regarding my friendships? Why wouldn't I? I mean, they proclaim themselves as my best friends, so I feel like it would be kind of insensitive to not let them in. Well, I guess there's a first for everything. Tio is honestly the worst person for Eleanor. He isn't exactly the type to settle down, and Elle's the biggest hopeless romantic I know. She always talks about having that white picket fence dream, whereas Tio can barely sit through a single conversation about his own feelings. I knew I was beginning to ramble at this point, but I couldn't seem to stop myself. And what's worse is that Tio is suddenly interested in relationships all of a sudden. I don't get what his motives are. I'm sure I'm sure people can change. Maybe he's entering his magical girl era. It's his magical girl era. Yes. It was a weak response, but I could tell Moth was being sincere about it. I mean, from what you've told me in the past, your coworker sounds like a real nice gal. Maybe Tio feels the same way. It just doesn't seem like something he'd do, though. I let out a sigh and absentmindly ran my hands over my pants in order to smooth out the wrinkles. Sorry, you probably didn't expect me to call you up just to rant to you. Hey, it's all good, I don't mind. And you know I always do the same. Besides, it's my duty as your bestest friend, both online and in real life. I couldn't help but chuckle at that. But saying real life implies we've met in person already. Fun you say that, Elle, because I'll be your soon. Maybe you could, if you're all of a sudden the call cuts out for the second time today. Damn it! Terrible Wi-Fi, or else terrible signal. That is a little bit sus. Damn, curse their horrible Wi-Fi. Yeah, seriously. Oh, there wasn't much I could do about a faulty connection. Figuring I had nothing else left to do for the night, I decided it's finally time to satisfy the cravings of my stomach. Yes. Without wasting any more time, I get up and tiredly trudge around my apartment as if my body were on autopilot. But just as I'm about to enter the kitchen, my phone rings once more. Glancing down, I notice Ren's contact details flash on the screen. Did he? Did he want to talk? No, he just wanted to, let the phone ring. Of course he wants to talk. Admittedly, I was a bit curious to see Ren again after missing him in the manga store earlier. A beat passes, and before I can stop myself, I answer his call. His soothing voice greets me, and I can practically feel the excitement, and moe flowers expel from the screen and hit me in the face. Jesus. And before I know it, Ren is agreeing to come over as soon as he can, so I quickly turn the lights back on, clean the place up a bit, and anticipate his arrival. Barely 10 minutes pass before I hear a loud knocking at my front door. Almost immediately, I leap to my feet and unlock it with a smile. Ren, hey, come on in. I see you're still wearing my hoodie. I also brought some takeout with me, if that's okay. I figured you hadn't had a chance to eat yet. Whoa, how'd you know? It's like you could read minds or something. Barely registering the look on his face, I gently coax Ren into my living room. He makes himself at home on my couch, and I bring a few utensils from my kitchen for the food he so kindly brought. Oh, by the way, were you at the manga store earlier today? I thought I saw you there. Yeah, I know you did. I mean, because I saw you as well. After I left, I noticed you through the window. Well, that seems to confirm my thoughts about Ren sitting outside the store. Stabbing my fork into the food, I take a bite and let out a pleased hum from all the delicious flavors dancing on my tongue. Really? You should have said hi. Thought about it, but you seemed really focused on something. And then you got a call, so... yeah, that was my friend Moth. Oh, that reminds me. Ren. At that, his full attention is immediately on me. Takeout long forgotten as the taller male moves in his seat to face me. You like Attack on Giants too, don't you? I mean, your hair and outfit, it was inspired by Haruko, right? I know I must have been coming on a bit strong, but Ren and I have been getting to know each other a bit better over these past few days. And somehow I knew he wouldn't freak out as much if he knew about my more nerdy side. Sparing a glance at Ren, he seems to be handling it quite well enough, if the interested yet curious look on his face was anything to go by. In fact, Ren seems almost on the edge of his seat with how intently he's staring at me. He must really be interested in Haruko as well to garner this sort of reaction. In some way, it was comforting to know we shared a few more similar interests. Haruko is actually one of my favorite characters at the moment. He has been for a while now, actually. Oh, but that's not the point. The point is, Moth loves Haruko too. I could introduce you guys. They're a die-hard fan of the anime, and I'm sure they... Oh, Moth is the one who's interested? Almost shyly, he turns his head away and meekly scratches at his jaw. I don't mind, but... I wasn't expecting Ren to be so hesitant, and I suddenly felt bad for springing this all on to him without considering how he might feel as well. Hey, no need to force yourself. If you don't want to, that's okay. I just thought it'd be nice to let them have someone else to talk to, you know? Moth has trouble making friends, and most of the time they're only talking to me. Yeah, that's too bad. He sends me a sad look coupled with a frown before returning to the plate before him. Although I was thinking about Moth, I really didn't want to force Ren into befriending someone if he didn't want to. Besides, maybe he has trouble forming friendships too. It was a little difficult trying to keep up with his sudden personality shifts, but at this point in our friendship, I was starting to get used to it. Deciding to lift the mood a little, I tried to change the subject to something more lighthearted. So, apparently this place has rats. Really, Looney? That was the first thing you could think of? How was that any less awkward than what we were currently? Actually, I didn't want to say anything, but I think I saw one on my way up here. It probably made itself a home in that busted elevator shaft. Seriously? Well, wait, do you think you could come with me and explain it to my landlord? I swear your landlord isn't doing anything about it? No! He collapsed onto the sofa with a dramatic sigh. I honestly don't know what they're doing, if I'm being honest. I've sent so many complaints, but haven't received a reply for any of them. Really? Have you considered just moving? Quite a few times, actually, but the location is nice. This place has its charms. My neighbor is friendly. I'm not sure what I like. I don't think any of, well, besides my neighbor is friendly, I guess I could go with them. Yeah. Well, everything was a little overwhelming in the beginning. Well, my neighbor was nothing but kind to me when I first moved in, and she always has the best afternoon snacks. I see. Then it's not so bad here after all, right? I mean, as long as there's no creep trying to break in and steal all your laundry or something. What was that? You've got a point there. I think I'd take the rats over a laundry stealing intruder any day, but now that I think about it, who would want to break in just to steal dirty clothes? Well, I'm sure Ren only meant it as a joke. It was oddly specific. Oh, uh, I just figured that's what normal creep behavior would be. You have a great sense of fashion, and I see your TV is still here, so. Yeah, I guess it would be difficult to lug that down the staircase. They probably would have asked the rats for help. Again with the rats? I'm gonna lay down, DMing if you need anything. Oh, okay, so. Rest well. I couldn't help but let out a laugh at his corny inside joke. Wait, since when did we have our own inside jokes? Since just now. Now that I really thought about it, the banter I shared with Ren seemed very easygoing as of late, despite how serious the topics were supposed to be. I had been worrying all day about this supposed stalker, yet here I was, casually brushing it off as a carefree joke. Brushing it off as a carefree joke with my supposed stalker. Still, is everything all right in your neighborhood? I've heard about the murders going on recently. Well, I'm sure you have. Well, no one I know has gone missing, so I suppose that's good, right? I won't lie, though, it is kind of scary knowing that there's a killer out there. Yeah, suppose so. But are you really okay with staying here alone? Doesn't that scare you? I'm sure I'll be fine. I've got my neighbor Violet, and if it's really necessary, I'm sure I could stay with Leon for a while and say, you could always stay with me instead. I mean, you've already stayed the night at my place, so it wouldn't be a bother if you wanted to come over again. I'd honestly sleep better at night knowing you're safe. And I always carry a spare key card with me anyway. If you'd like, you can hold on to it in case something. I appreciate the offer, Ren, but I can't accept that. It's fine. Besides, you said yourself that living here can get overwhelming. If this can help you in any way. I don't know. Keep it, just in case. I mean, you never know. What if that creep breaks into your apartment again? If that happens, you'd be safer at my place. The lobby is full of security, and they won't let anyone upstairs without proper clearance. Plus, I don't have rats. That is a very tempting offer now that you mention it. I won't lie, Ren's offer honestly was tempting. The idea of having somewhere to go in case things got bad was a comforting thought, but something just didn't sit right with me. I know I've been spending a lot of time with Ren recently, but I still wasn't that familiar with him. Once again, literally just met him yesterday. But okay. And sure, maybe I did invite a total stranger over to my place on a whim, but I wasn't going to be swayed just because I felt indebted to Ren. Still, the offer really was tempting, and it wasn't like he was asking me. Stop it. And it wasn't like he was asking me to move in with him or anything. Now that I thought about it, Ren was the one giving me access to his home. It wasn't like I was the one in danger here. He was trusting me enough to not to be some kind of crazed killer, much like the one on the news. I can't help but crack a small smile at the somewhat morbid thought, and Ren seems to take it as a positive sign. But before I can dwell on it any further, I watch as he leans over to reach into his back pocket and pulls out something that resembles a plastic card. Ren wastes no time handing it to me, and I take a moment to look it over. His address and unit number are neatly printed at the top, and some kind of obscure barcode is on the bottom. However, the apartment name and logo in the top right corner are what really captures my attention. Sunshine Hills. I almost forgot he lived in the nicer parts of Coral Bay. They were known for their high-rise apartments and fancy penthouses, so I'm sure Ren never had to worry about rat infestations or deadbeat landlords. Ugh. Though, the more I thought about it, the more willing I was to accept his offer. Maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea after all. I couldn't help but wonder what kind of programmer could afford fancy marble flooring, but as always, Ren remained a mystery to me. If this opportunity meant getting to know him better, maybe it'd be worth it. Snapping out of my thoughts, I looked up from the glossy plastic and focused my attention back to Ren. Seriously, though? It wouldn't hurt to keep it. And it's a spare key card anyway. I can always get more. I always have a stack of them at home. They're really handy, too. I can use them to lock up my office and bedroom without a physical key. But I always end up misplacing them all, and... Sorry, Looney, am I rambling again? Well, I don't want you to worry or anything. And you never know what might happen. I've seen what's been on the news lately, and I just want you to be safe. He wants me to be safe? Where have I heard that before? Well, I suppose so. Great, then. He glances back at the plastic item in my hand with an expectant look, almost as if he were waiting for me to put it away. And when I carefully shove it into my pocket, Ren seems to visibly relax and lean back into his chair once more. Then that settles it. Come by whenever you want. You don't even need to call. Okay, dude. Thanks. I think I'll still call in advance, or even shoot a text. As lovely as Ren's welcoming hospitality was, I wouldn't want to disrupt or intrude on anything. As if picking up on my sudden silence, he clears his throat, gestures towards the food on the table, and scoops up a giant forkful. Anyways, we should finish up. Ugh. Wisteria! Hey! Hey, girl. What's up? Thanks for the follow. Long time no see. How are you doing? Anyways, we should finish this before it gets cold. Oh, yeah, you're right. Studying to ease the tension once more I speak, the first thing that comes to mind as I stab my fork and play continuously. Pretty good, just got back. Oh yeah, you're back from your trip now, huh? Deciding to use the tension once more I speak, the first thing that comes to mind as I stab my enjoying the food. Can we pass the sauce? You've got some crumbs on your face. You look like a hamster. Just, you look like a hamster. No context, just you look like a hamster. Will you elaborate? No. Yeah, let's tease him again. Oh, thank you. Mary made my PNG. And I'm commissioning her for something to use in the meantime until I can get my actual model. Yeah. Thank you. Also, meet my plush friend in my arm here. His name is Quandavius the Spontaneous. Credit to Confi for the name. Um, yeah, I just call him Dave though. Before I can stop myself, I reach out towards Ren's face and gently wipe away the crumbs from his cheek. My fingers brush against his bottom lip, and I can't help the slight tinge of pink that blooms on my cheeks. It's a great name. Yeah. Uh, yeah. He sure is creative, that Confi. Uh, Ren seems to be sporting a similar look of his own before he awkwardly clears his throat and goes back to eating. Um, thank you. Made him blush. I mean, I blush too, but that's not what's important. The casual banter continues throughout dinner, and soon enough all the containers were empty and our stomachs were full. I dimmed the lights and switched the TV on at some point to fill the silence between our conversations, and soon enough, Ren and I find ourselves taking an interest in a movie that was currently playing. It was some unknown sappy rom-com that came out almost a decade ago, yet Ren didn't seem to mind it that much. I wasn't following the plot too keenly, but from what I could gather, the male lead just confessed his love for the main character in the back of his truck. To top it all off, it started raining as some slow melodic love song came on the radio. The two characters were all too happy to share a sweet kiss with each other in that romantic moment. But the tenderness soon gets cut short once the scene starts to travel down a more heated path. Uh-oh, avert your eyes, children. The kisses become more passionate, and before I know it, I'm watching the main character lean across the center console to sit in his lover's lap instead. Clearly, I wasn't expecting this to happen in what I falsely believed was a harmless rom-com, so I dared to glance in Ren's direction to gauge his reaction. It's just I don't know if you guys have seen gameplay of the coffin of Andy and Lele, but there's this famous scene where where Lele like gets a vision of her and Andy after having coitus, and they're and she like wakes up from the dream, and she like looks over and she's like, I wonder if he saw the vision too. And she looks over and he's just blushing. He's a big red hot mess. He's like, oh god. Yeah, aside from the faint dusting of pink on his cheeks, the rest of him seems all too relaxed. Dang it. There's an arm casually thrown over the back of the couch while the rest of his body is slouched into the plushness of the seat. His lanky limbs are stretched out in front of him while his thighs are spread out slightly, and the empty space between his legs was beginning to look inviting for some reason. Was it because of the movie? No. No. I said no 18 plus scenes. No 18 plus! Before I could stop myself, I find my mind wandering. How will I respond? Oh, okay. Pretty sure I have to do things a little differently to get that route anyway. But so I think we're safe. But we can keep watching the movie or we can change the channel. Um so let's see. I guess this doesn't seem to be bothering him much, so well actually hold on. I want to see if he does end up getting flustered. What was I thinking? This movie was clearly messing with my head. Subtly, I slapped my cheeks and focused my attention back to the TV screen. But every so often, my gaze flickers back to Ren to see if he was feeling just as awkward as I was throughout the scene, and it seems I was right. It's almost painful watching him awkwardly clear his throat a few times. Okay, sorry. It's almost painful watching him awkwardly clear his throat a few times until his interest ultimately shifts towards my wall instead. Same, bro, same. I also feel the urge to look away once the couple starts to get even more handsy with each other, and then when it starts to become too much to bear, I impulsively change the channel. A monotone voice droning on about the weather fills the silence, and I feel the couch move as Ren shifts in his seat. That was, yeah, they were really going at it, huh? Mm-hmm. Jeez, I can't believe it's somehow even more awkward now. I wonder why. Couldn't have been something I did. Absolutely not. But just as I'm about to do something about it, Ren awkwardly clears his throat and moves to stand up. It's getting a bit late now, isn't it? I should probably start heading home soon. Oh, are you sure? You can stay a bit longer. No, I really should go. Now that I think about it, you need to wake up early, don't you? Yeah, actually. But how did you know that? You seem like the early bird type. He doesn't seem to elaborate on that and instead starts to pack up his belongings and head towards the hallway. Deciding that was that, I walked Ren towards the front door with a soft smile on my face. Today had been a lot of fun thanks to him, and I was able to keep my mind off of the events that would ultimately transpire tomorrow. I was still unsure about Tio's intentions, but being with Ren helped me to understand that maybe it was wrong of me to judge others so quickly. Nah, fuck Tio. He's such a fool. Fuck Tio. I was still unsure about. At first, I thought Ren was just some shy guy with a stuttering problem, but over the course of a few days. You mean literally 2 days? Oh, wait, no, actually, it is the third day, isn't it? All right, okay. Technically, we met him the day before yesterday, but we didn't really get to know him until yesterday. So, date. Feel like Elsa over here. You can't marry someone you just met. But over the course of a few days, I learned there's more to him than just that. He had his moments of confidence, and it was endearing watching him stand up for the things that he wanted. Perhaps I was being a bit too harsh on Tio. Even he deserved a chance to redeem himself. Blech. I don't know. I suppose I'll give him a chance tomorrow. Me? Oops, sorry. Crap, I really need to stop spacing out like that. Yeah, I've been doing that this whole playthrough. What the heck? I asked if you wanted me to lock the door for you. It suddenly hit me like a ton of bricks. I was still standing in the hallway while Ren was already waiting for me at the door, so I quickly rushed over to him with a flushed expression. Sorry, I was just busy thinking. I can lock it. Thanks, though. You do that a lot. It's cute. Don't you dare call me. How dare you call me cute? I am death. Well, not really, but get close enough. I almost rolled my eyes at his words as I leaned against the front door and watched Ren awkwardly shuffle on my doormat. Thanks for today. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. Take up more of my time. Do it. I fucking dare you, you coward. Take up more of my time. Shut up, Wiz. You know this can go both ways. Not at all. Thanks for coming over. Get home safe, okay? Ren's eyes seemed to light up the moment I voiced my concern over him. Yeah, okay. I will. You too. I mean, you're already at home, so go to bed safe or sleep well. What am I? I can't help but chuckle at his panicked state. And Ren seems to settle once he hears my laughter. Good night, Ren. Good night, Luney. I'll see you tomorrow. The sound of the door shutting drowns out the ending of his sentence. Once I had nothing else left to do for the night, I get changed into some comfy pajamas and brush my teeth before settling into bed. The newest chapter for Always With You was going to drop in a few hours, and I figured I might as well stay up and read it before going to sleep. But my eyes were starting to get droopy, and all my mind could think about was the double date I had planned with Leon, Tio, and Eleanor tomorrow. Man, I sure hope everything will be fine. But I know worrying about it wasn't going to do me any favors. So I let my pent-up stress out on my pillow by smacking it to make it less lumpy. Though the moment I unceremoniously flopped back down, I noticed the cold draft and the fact that my bedroom window was left wide open. I had nothing to worry about. I probably just left it open, right? Strange, I don't remember opening it earlier. With a groan, I get up from my bed I get up from my bed and go to close it. But once I lock it shut, something moves from within the shadows and startles me. Ugh. Squinting, I can barely make out the black mass moving through the gaps in the fire escape balcony. What was that? A person? It certainly wouldn't be strange for someone to take a cigarette break at this hour, but I couldn't smell any telltale signs of smoke. Maybe it was my landlord's cat out for a leisurely midnight stroll. That idea seemed more realistic in my mind. Yet, despite my futile attempts at calming myself down, I still somehow find the willpower to go back to bed, rather than opening the window once more and taking another curious peek outside. I didn't have a death wish, nor did I have the stupidity of those cliche horror film characters. Yeah. Well, not that much stupidity, at least. But before I turn away, I double check to make sure that the window is locked shut and the blinds are fully closed. I wasn't about to risk it. Happy with the precautions put in place, I make a hasty dive towards the warmth and safety of my bed. Snuggled deep within my blankets, I find it harder and harder to think about someone breaking in, and even more so of keeping my eyes open. Before I knew it, a pink-colored sheep slowly filled my mind as I drifted away. End of day 3 demo. Thank you so much for playing. Have you tried getting all the different endings yet? If you're looking for more 14 Days With You content, check out the Discord or Tumblr. Okay, yeah, so that was 14 Days With You. At least the demo up to day 3. I wonder if they updated it yet, but either way, if you enjoyed this, I highly recommend you go on the itch.io, onto their itch.io page and download the game yourself. Go to their Twitter, Discord. Guess they have Tumblr too. But yeah, anyway. It's forming up to be a very interesting story so far. And I can tell you right now that yes, I have played this game before all the way through, and gotten through like I'm pretty sure all of the endings. But at any rate, yeah, it looks really cool. But also the 18 plus rated scenes are kind of top notch, especially considering how you can like customize your gender and everything. It's really nice. Anyway, definitely recommend checking it out for yourself and trying out the other endings. Still can't get over the fact that when I loaded up the game, he was like, "Looney, you're back." I was just like, "Oh crap, how does he know?"